Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and this weekend I went to New York City to visit one of my best friends in all the world, Ricky. And I've shown you guys his 150-gallon hill stream before, as well as some of his other aquariums, but I hadn't really shown you this really epic bowl. Now, bowls historically have a really bad reputation because people tend to throw fish that are totally unsuitable into them. This particular bowl is 10 gallons, has an internal mini filter and a heater, and houses a bunch of these really gorgeous guppies, as well as some Amano shrimp and some orange Neocaridina shrimp. And it is exceptionally successful, planted with bucephalandras, this big lace plant, some what looks to be Sagittaria, and some Anubias. And the fish are obviously thriving as there are fry everywhere. And this male has a beautiful double sword. I think that this is a great example of one of those things that people say, like bowls are always bad. This is a good example how you have to, apply common sense and realize that there's rarely ever any hard and fast rules for what will work and what is appropriate, as long as you're taking into consideration the needs of the inhabitants and your ability to manage the aquarium, or in this case, the bowl, properly. I know that I was absolutely blown away by how this looks. It is obviously lush, obviously thriving. All the inhabitants are super healthy, and it is just quite the showpiece in Ricky's apartment. Now, he has a ton of plants, which I'll show you in a bit, both inside, outside, all sorts of really cool rare plants. And if you guys are interested in seeing some of his work, I'll put a link to his Instagram down in the pinned comment as well as in the video description. I really encourage you guys to give him a follow. Also, if you'd like to see more of his urban gardening, let me know down in the comments, as I'm coming back to New York City this upcoming weekend in order to attend an aquascaping event. I'll also put a link to that. It's at Brooklyn Hardscape, and Corey Hopkins will be doing an aquascaping demo, and it should be a really epic event. So I encourage you guys to check that out as well. I will be in attendance on Sunday should you want to get a ticket to see Corey and meet me. But I think it's pretty obvious by the flowering of the plants, the breeding of the fish, and the breeding of the shrimp that this bowl is an absolute success. Now, if you have any questions about it, I would encourage you to reach out to Ricky through Instagram or stay tuned for future updates. Now, this was the guest room that I was staying in, and I have to tell you, I had so much plant envy, it was insane. Ricky has this absolutely incredible just array of rare plants, from terrariums like these to orchids to violets to just all sorts of really incredible house plants, including some carnivorous. And one of our goals for my visit this weekend, beyond just hanging out and relaxing, was to go on the hunt for some stuff for me to mount orchids, or some pottery, or just a way for me to up my game with my house plants, because I want them to look more cohesive. This is really my inspiration. I mean, he just had so many neat plants everywhere you looked, and they're all in this guest room. Well, these are all in the guest room, and they're all growing and flowering and super lush and just doing absolutely amazing. It was really incredible. So we decided we would head down to the Floral district and take a look around to see what plants and what supplies we could find. After I stared in wonderment at all of his collection. He also goes crypts immersed for use in aquariums. On the way out, we stopped by his backyard garden. This is just a little tease. There are some really incredible plants and a really incredible rock garden, as well as a mini bog. So again, if you guys would like to see more of his urban gardening, let me know. We went to just about every store in the Floral district, looking at pots, looking at glassware, looking at plants, and it was just a really incredible experience for me. There's absolutely nothing like this where I live. And to just go into store after store after store and see huge, mature house plants, hanging plants, succulents, air plants, was really inspiring for me. I kind of wanted everything. Everything I saw, I wanted to buy, but I only came home with one plant, though I was really, 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 really tempted by these nepenthes, as well as a bunch of the orchids. And I'm really very impressed with myself that I didn't come home with dozens of plants, because the prices were really, really great. The size of the plants was absolutely amazing, and I just really wanted to take them all. But I really enjoyed looking at them this time, and I think when I come back in a week or so, maybe I'll stop back down and get maybe one of these terrariums. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. They were pretty affordable and absolutely beautiful, and I could really see incorporating them into sort of the aesthetic I have going on in my living room. I already have a few of these clochets. In fact, I have a new one I need to show you guys. So one of the things my friend Ricky and I did today was we went down to Chinatown. Well, he took me down to Chinatown in search of inexpensive options for making planters. And one of the things that he does a whole lot of with all of his plants is repurpose pottery. Because you can find it for pretty inexpensive around the city, especially in Chinatown, and then just drill some holes and make it into a planter. So he's going to show us how he does that now. So tell us about the device that you are using there.
So this is just a regular cordless drill. This is a diamond tip hole saw. I got a set of, I think, like a dozen different sizes on Amazon for like 12 bucks. And each of them is good for at least a few of these pots. Gotta make sure that there's water, or when there isn't a depression like this, I'll use an ice cube up against the drill bit. And don't be like me, use gloves, definitely. And
do as we say, not as we do.
You want to come in from an angle and start the bit slightly before you touch down. You kind of want to find the right amount of pressure, because it'll try to jump around on you a little bit occasionally. You start the groove, and then once you have a nice little hold for your bit, you can slowly start to tilt it up to create the the vertical hole.
Awesome.
And if you're not sure where you're at, you definitely just stop and check. Just make sure to keep water in the reservoir when you want to start drilling again.
Eureka. So these are the 4 bowls that Ricky drilled for me while I was visiting. I think the total cost was 2 for $10 for the largers, and the smaller were about $5 a piece. And if you've ever shopped for pottery for planters, you know it can be pretty expensive. So this, I think, is a really beautiful, easy, inexpensive solution for coming up with planters for some of the house plants I hope to have in the future. As always, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments below if you'd like to see more videos like this. And as always, thank you for your continued support.